ودتك ماشي فدي ودد ولا مسلمين كل جيس ماشي قرية dad masaakiin oo meesha soo degay iskugu imaado dad waxa iska haystaan waa yiri waxay qabeen wax yar oo riidhil oo 10 ka wax saas ninka u badan 10 ninka kale 5 ay qabeen kuna abaara wadanka iska jira abaarihii markii wax u dhinto abaara u dhintay iyo waxba Allah ilaa hadda wax yar soo heray waxay soo hereen madowga yar magay ay heleen geed waxay yiri mareeb liiraha meeshan ku yeelaa jir laba calool ku dhaayirga awshaska ay kala xabana هذا علاش كل واحد جيف أم واحد بقته أجر وكذا ماذا
واجرة وحنا هني دكسي مقبنا سكول مقبنا مدرسة مقبنا عيلش وجدي هنا يبيلان نجين عافمات كان سيدنا أو حنا وهايستان وهكذا أجرة أنا كأضياء شاينا مش شقيان شقة ما هايستان دولة حاجة ده بدأت أسكن مرق مالته دينا وحيكون حرنت هاي كبرود هاد بسيط الله hadda antaana sida ugu daran magaalada ma jirto wax ka barwa oo lagu soo faa maamoodinkana meel aan haddaan suuq aan gaarno ma jir suuq ma qabna mideedii kale wax haddaan aan ka bacshireen karno qudaar ama kii kale ahaan jirtay suuq la isku xirooraa
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. We are here today to speak about UMR's most recent project launch, Adopt a Village Project, also known as AVP. Before we jump right in, I'd like to introduce and welcome our guests today. First, we have Mr. Abdulghani Ismail, UMR's East Africa Regional Representative, Katie Ambrosini, who is our East Africa Programs Officer, Mr. Rodrigue Saab, who is the chairman and CEO of Saab RDS, and special guest, Ms. Ebla Bashir Hassan, the member of County Executive Committee for Wajir County, Kenya. And finally, myself, your moderator and host, Carolina Vashvik. So Abdulghani, I'm going to start with you. Could you briefly introduce yourself and explain UMR's work in Kenya?
Hello, Caroline. My name is Abdulghani Ismail, like you just mentioned. And if I briefly give you an idea and give the audience an idea about UMR's work in Kenya, in East Africa in general, but in Kenya specifically, we obtained registration here in Kenya in 2016. Since 2016, UMR had been focusing in the health sector, water sanitation and hygiene, education, food security, child protection, and also we provided in-kind donation. In the health sector, for example, UMR succeeded to implement cataract surgeries in Kenya. These surgeries gave eyesight back to almost 1,000 patients and in Wajir alone. And we managed to implement a hearing aid fitting for the hearing impaired people in Wajir County, and 280 patients benefited from this ear camps. UMR donated medical equipment and medical supplies worth millions of dollars to Wajir Referral Hospital. In the wash sector or water and sanitation and hygiene sector, UMR dug over 50 shallow wells in Kenya. In Wajir alone, we dug 20 shallow wells. And in the education sector, UMR, in partnership with Wajir County, distributed 18,000 school backpack and stationery to the primary schools in Wajir County. Also, we managed to complete phase 1 of the Adopt a Village project. I believe we will talk about this in a later stage. And in the food security, we distributed thousands of dry food to the bride community and underprivileged households in Kenya and in Wajir, Garissa specifically. And also, we are in the process of recruiting 100 orphans in Wajir County right now to sponsor these orphans and their families at the same time. So through this program, the orphan will have a health cover, they will have education, and they will have food as well. And some people might ask, why Wajir? Why not other counties? Wajir County, according to the Kenya Integrated House Budget Survey, is one of the poorest counties in Kenya. The poverty level in the northern Kenya, which is Wajir, Garissa, Mandera, Isiolo, is like 84%. So the region has no good infrastructure, no clean water, no proper health service, no quality education. Therefore, Wajir is one of our target area in Kenya. Thank you, Caroline.
Of UMR President and CEO, Dr. Abed Ayoub, during one of our recent trips to Wajir, where we performed cataract surgery. So we're going to show that really quickly.
يا الله بسم الله ايشك هلا فر ايشك ماركتها you can see yes سفي سلام السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام عليكم. ادعي الحمد لله.
الحمد لله مهد إلهي يا مدن مهد المدن تهين. الحمد لله كر الله ينكدق.
May Allah make you up always إن شاء الله.
كر الله ينكدق. الدنيا الجنة آخر الجنة لو عليها الله ينسي.
May Allah give you جنة in the آخرة.
الدنيا كر سيد ربطنا الله كويل.
In the dunya whatever you wish may Allah fulfill you.
جزاك الله خير.
إن شاء الله.
Can you see me?
سفعل ماركتا سفيعا واركا يس وأوجد واكو أركا
كمان
واكو أركا
ما شاء الله.
إيش كلام سفعا؟
إيش هي واركا يس ماركتا ما شاء الله.
الحمد لله جزاكم الله ما شاء الله. It's a great feeling.
It is.
Wow, that's some inspirational work we have going on here. Now, Katie, do you want to elaborate a little bit more about AVP for us now?
Thanks, Caroline, and hey, everyone. Yeah, AVP, Adoptive Village, is an effort to develop village-level capacity towards meeting several UN Sustainable Development Goals through infrastructure and development projects in healthcare, WASH, education, and community engagement. We're working in 4 villages: Bula Elmi, Bula Abdiaziz 1, Bula Abdiaziz 2, and Bula Harari. And this is a very comprehensive and holistic approach. And it's because the challenges and the problems are systemic. Poverty is a systemic problem. As Abdul Ghani mentioned, Wajir is one of the poorest counties in Kenya, with 84% of the population living in absolute poverty. That means they just lack access to basic necessities, basic needs. And the solution is to address the problems. The solutions to address the problems lie within various structures and systems, from the economy to the environment, to the healthcare system, to the education system. Renovating a school isn't enough for these residents to overcome extreme poverty. They need support in several areas. There needs to be a real emphasis on capacity building. And by providing support in these key areas, we believe these villages will have the capacity to transform. So if you give them the building blocks, the foundations, the training, the understanding, they have the tool sets to really move forward and progress. On a more granular level, the first phase of the project, we've developed 3 overarching objectives that the program activities feed into. The first one being improving learning outcomes for children in the target villages. Right, we've been working in Elmi Primary School, which serves the 4 target villages that I've mentioned. And our theory is that having access to a clean, safe, equipped school for learning will lead to increased retention rates and completion rates, and will help improve learning outcomes. And we've totally renovated this school. We've put in floors, we've put in protective fencing, we've put in a cafeteria, we've built a clinic, we've provided equipment, supplies. So right now we're collecting baseline data so we can kind of assess the impact and the change. The second objective is to improve overall health outcomes and living conditions. Having access to a healthcare facility that provides safe and efficient healthcare interventions, as well as having access to nearby clean water sources will increase health outcomes. And third, to develop the community's capacity to maintain these infrastructure projects so they're sustainable. So we're having the community create boards and committees. We'll be providing trainings that involve women and men so they can really act as decision makers and be empowered, and so they're able to maintain these structures.
Moving on to you now, Mr. Saab, could you tell us a bit more about your company and the technical aspect of the work that you guys did on the project in Wajir?
Sure. Good morning, good evening, everyone. I'm Rodrigue Saab, and I'm the chairman and CEO of Saab RDS. We focus in our business on research and development systems, and we are very actively engaged in bridging the gap between academia and industry, and in developing the next generation talent of innovators and engineers in the world. And with this, in this aspect and in this context, we were proudly engaged in this project to lay the foundations for improving the school infrastructure, which will be the starting point to help the students dream and feel that, you know, get at least faster towards a brighter future. The current global economical system with the technological revolution of Industry 4.0 makes everybody, every country equal, every geography equal. Access to know-how, access to knowledge, access to technology can bring, can take talent and help them develop businesses, help them develop services, and help them become employable in the global economical market. And for that, they need the right infrastructure. They need the right infrastructure. They need the right access to tools. They need the right educational programs to be at par with the globe. And I think this phase is a very strong and important phase. And there is a long way to go. But I think with the help and the support of the international community, I think this can help us bridge this gap faster and accelerate it. So I would like to thank the UMR team, the funders who helped make this project a reality. We're keen to make sure that we provide projects on time, on quality, and we basically over-deliver on our promise. And we were certainly very happy to keep the conversation forward to understand what the next needs are and how we can help fulfill them and bring the right programs and educational technologies for Wajir to help improve the economic development of the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you for elaborating on that, and thank you again for joining us here today. I'm going to pass back over to Abdul Ghani. Could you please give us some more details on what was achieved during phase one of this project? I know we've touched on it a bit, but maybe just elaborate on it a little bit more for us.
Sorry, the voice was breaking, Caroline, and you said you want me to give you a brief about what again? Sorry,
could you just elaborate a little bit more on the details on what was achieved during phase one of the project? I know we've touched on it a bit already, but you could really go into detail, that'd be great.
Yeah, like Katie mentioned earlier, through the first phase of AVP, and we managed to renovate 10 classrooms. We managed to fence the school. We managed to build a clinic for the school and for the local communities in the 4 villages: Bula Abdulaziz 1, Bula Abdulaziz 2, Bula Hariri, and Bula Ilmi. And also we managed to dig a borehole. So now the children, they have a safe and secure environment. They can study better. And also they have decent and healthy water. They can drink healthy, clean water. As you know, water is life, and clean water means health. So this water is not only for the school; it's for the villages as well. So basically, we are. I can say we transformed the life of the people in these villages at the school in 360 degrees. So things are much better now. Children have a more decent and friendly environment. And previously, the animals used to come to the school while the children was having their break in the school. And like the principal was sharing with us in the ceremony, the animal used to eat with the children and during the break, and share the food of the children during the break time, and it was not safe for them as well. So I believe things changed and to the better, and children are having a better environment, friendly environment, and this, of course, will encourage them to attend the school and to come to the school more and more.
Thank you for sharing more details on this super exciting project. There's really just fantastic work being done for this community. I have a couple more questions for all of you. This could be a question for either you, Abdulghani, or Katie, whichever one of you guys want to answer it. How important do you think it is for organizations like UMR to be focusing on areas like Wajir?
If I go first, and it's very important. Not a lot of international NGOs, like or wants to go to that part of Kenya because of safety reason for number one, and secondly, it's not very convenient for the international staff. It lacks the basic infrastructure. It's not like Nairobi. It's not comfortable. So most of the international NGOs, they don't prefer to go to that deprived areas. So going there and reaching out to these people, to those people, I mean, who has no other, people or organization reaching for them. I think it's a great achievement by UMR. And basically, we left our comfort zone and we are going to the hard areas to reach the people who's not reached by others.
If I may jump in, also, Wajir has been attacked by Boko Haram. So I think going in there as an international organization and really, Al-Shabaab. Excuse me. Thank you, Abdulghani. I think going in there as an international organization and really building this capacity, you're building resilience against these external forces, and I think it's really important, though tricky and dangerous for NGOs to work in. I think it's important to build that resilience.
Yeah.
Thank you, both of you. Abdulghani, I have another question for you. How can you explain how you think AVP will positively impact the community and maybe give some examples, some details?
Again, your voice is breaking, Caroline. I believe you said how AVP is impacting the people in Wajir, right?
Yeah, how maybe give an example, a pretty clear example of how it will positively impact the community for years to come, not just in this exact moment.
Unfortunately, the voice is breaking. I don't know if it's from my side or from America, but if I heard you correctly, you said how the AVP is impacting the people's life in Wajir, right?
Yes.
It's impacting greatly. Like I mentioned earlier, and like Kathy mentioned, no many NGOs are going there because of security reason, and also because of the lack of the basic infrastructure, lack of the the facilities to work there. So to go there and to adapt and implement a project like Adaptive Village project, it's a big achievement for them, and they were excited about the project. And they said no many NGOs are coming here. As you can see in these videos, the place is deserted and it's not safe. So to go there and to implement such a huge project, it's a great achievement for us as an organization and for the community, of course. It's magnificent achievement, and the people were very happy about it.
Thank you so much. So I actually have a question for Mr. Saab. What do you hope to see in the next phase of this project coming from your end and your company?
Well, I think the next step is to start building computer skills and the ICT, what we call ICT, information and communication technology skills, from the early years, so that the students can become familiar with the technology and be able to develop, because moving forward, every aspect in our life requires technology. And so building on these ICT skills is key. And this requires really a substantial investments in infrastructure, in internet connectivity, in computers, and in the trainer business model in terms of to access more students across a wide geography. So right. I think that's what I would hope for. Like K-12, basic ICT skills, that could be something that we could accomplish. In parallel, we could also consider developing such skills at the graduate level or at the women, empowering women in something we could also consider in empowering women who are interested in developing these basic skills and in doing remote services to foreign or to local businesses that could also help develop economically the community.
Thank you. And now that you've touched on what you would like to see in the next phase, Abdul Ghani, could you tell us a little bit about the next steps with AVP and anything else you want to include?
Yes, Caroline, and we have phase 2 in the pipeline right now. 2 days ago, I met with the governor of Wajir County, Mr. Ahmed Mukhtar, and his secretary. Basically, they are going to provide us a land to build a library for the community and to build vocational center and imaging center. Imaging center meaning CT scan, ultrascan, and so on. So the second phase, hopefully, is going to happen very soon. The county government welcomed the idea and they pledged to give us the land very soon. So we are going to move to phase 2. And we are going to make a great impact in Wajir County.
And do you want to tell us a little bit about your meeting with the governor that happened earlier last week?
You mean 2 days ago, the one I was just mentioning? Yes, this is the one.
Oh, I thought you wanted to touch on the one a while ago. Sorry, from the original.
Yes. Yeah, I meet him all the time, but recently I met him like 2 days ago, and we spoke about phase 2, and they pledged to give us land to build these centers. Library, vocational center, imaging center, and so on. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for elaborating on that. I'm really excited to see what's going to come with phase 2. Katie, I have another question for you. Could you discuss the economic impact that this project is going to have on Wajir County?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Caroline. As Abdul Ghani and I mentioned, Wajir is, again, one of the poorest counties in Kenya. First off, even just having conducted these infrastructure projects, building the school, we've employed members from the community. We've also sourced material from locally as much as possible. From everything, everything from the mission trips, the cataract surgeries, for instance, giving somebody sight, curing treatable diseases that would have otherwise left them handicapped or limited in terms of the workforce. That's opening up economic opportunity, renovating the school and providing skills enhancement trainings. We're giving kids hopefully greater opportunities, increasing their learning pathways, and then having long-term effects on them in terms of the career opportunities. I think all of the work we're doing will have a good impact economically. I mean, building the wells, providing clean access to water. It's 85% of their household income in Wajir depend on nomadic pastoralism. So, they rely on livestock, and you need to water to keep your livestock alive and everything.
Right. Well, thank you so much. And on that incredibly interesting note, we are out of time. I want to thank everyone who joined me here today, both my wonderful speakers and the audience that's somewhere out there. UMR would be unable to have the impact that we have without the support that we receive from everybody. So thank you. We plan to continue our mission to help underserved communities not just survive, but flourish. If you're interested in learning more and or donating to our Adopt a Village project, or if you just want to check out who we are as an organization, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn with the handle @UMRelief, and our website is umrelief.org. We would love for everyone to be part of our mission. Thanks again, and hope to see you all soon.